What's up, everybody? Big D bringing you guys another video. While I have the downtime, I'm almost 4 years clean. Thanks for joining the channel. Make sure you like, subscribe. You know how it is. I want to talk about Afghanistan. So I had been struggling for years with painkillers, you name it. Okay, alcohol, painkillers, steroids, adderal, ecstasy, all that good shit, and dabbled with other stuff, but was mainly, my three faves were alcohol, Percocet or painkillers at that time, and then of course I was doing steroids, or at least over-the-counter steroids, and I call them that. It was like testosterone boosters, but there was real hormones in them. So I was all into the gym and trying to get in, great shape, so to speak. My brother gets this job working for this company called Worldwide Language Resources. They're like a company that helps people who speak Pashto, which is like a Arabic language, and like they bring people who speak a variety of different languages over there so they could translate. But they had one slot available for people who actually did mail, like a mail room, okay, for like actually doing mail, if that makes sense. So anything your loved ones would send to Afghanistan would come through the Bagram base, and then we would have to ship it off to the forward operating bases and make sure that our soldiers are getting all their stuff. Yeah, so in order to get that job, you got to do a thorough background check. They do a blood check, all that stuff. I had no background at the time. I was good to go. I ended up getting my CAT card. I had a secret clearance, all that good stuff. Just a basic, any military soldier gets. And the company hired me, so I ended up going over there to meet up with Kurt. And I had to quit pills just to change my life. So I was like, okay, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to go to the desert of Afghanistan. There, I'll be better. I won't have a problem with painkillers and doing all this stuff while I'm there. However, I quit the painkillers just so I could get this job. And before I took off, I bought 2 Oxycontins. This is back when Oxycontin, they stopped making them into the gel forms where you can't crush them down and snort them because people were overdosing and people were shooting up Oxycontin. Well, the name brands, and I don't know if they've changed all that yet. It's been years, but back in the day, it was 80 milligrams. I'm sorry, 60 milligram ones. I can't remember. Maybe they're 40s. I bought 2 or 3, and I was heading over to Afghanistan. I told myself, well, you know what? I'm going to surprise Kurt, because Kurt, he's like, dude, bro, bring a couple, bring something. And I'm trying to make it there, right? This flight was like a 20-hour flight. It was ridiculous. We stopped in like Kirkvekistan, or I might be butchering the name. We stopped at this place. I had to sleep in a tent, and then we took off from there and went to this other place where you could go to the bar, but because it's all soldiers and it's a base, there was a bar at this place, which was surprising. But you had to, you got a ticket, and you could only have 2 drinks. The beer content level was really intense. So I went down there, got a few beers, and I couldn't contain myself. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to take one of these 40s and just do one. I'm going to do half one. And sure enough, I met this guy who later on was cool as hell, who was going out there to meet up with Kurt. He actually was a supervisor of the company in charge of helping do the mail for the company. This guy got so blacked out drunk, though, they had to put him in a heat tent to help detox him off the alcohol and to get all the alcohol content out of him. A sweat tent is what they're called. They forced him to go to one. I guess he was belligerent. I do this painkiller, and man, I'm already like wanting more. And I only have these 2 Oxycontins, and I'm like, I'm in great shape. I've been going to the gym. I end up going over there, and as soon as I get and land off the C-17 into Bagram, Afghanistan, I'm full armor. I mean, I've got bulletproof vest. I've got the helmet on. I'm, full armor. I come off, and Kurt's there, and he's like, bro. And me and Kurt, oh, what's up, bro? It's been so long, man. I love you, dude. And I'm like, dude, I love you too. And I looked at him and I was like, yep, I got it. And he's like, let's go back to the room, bro. You're not sleeping in a tent. Because new guys that came over there, you had to sleep in this tent with like 100 other soldiers. Like, everybody, there's guys farting and people who don't clean themselves good, so you got bad odor or loud people, whatever. There's 100 people in this tent, and you got to go sleep on a cot. My brother had me looked out. He looked out for me. He had an available bunk bed slot. He got someone out of the room. This is 8 people to a small little wooden box, and me and Kurt were in there. And Kurt goes in there, and these guys are following, and they got to work, right? They got to work here in a little bit. They worked all night sometimes. And Kurt's like, come here, bro. Y'all get out. I need to talk to my brother. It's real serious. We did the oxy. We did 1 oxy. And I remember we got high as hell, and I was so buzzing because I could get energy off this stuff then. I wasn't, my tolerance went back down. I wasn't like, I wasn't actually nodding out, I mean. I wasn't to the point to where I was so out of it. No, I was actually energetic. I was going. So, I go to work that night. I wasn't supposed to start till the next day, but I went to work that night. And we used it up. So, that want to use more was there. But I couldn't get any. There was no way. I mean, I tried to go to the hospital on base there, and it's a nightmare to try and get pain meds while you're over there. I couldn't find them. Nobody sold them, except there was one guy who was prescribed them. And I found out that he had a whole bunch, and he let me get a couple because I was hurting. When I found out he let me get a couple, I found out where this guy lived. And my dumbass, I'm just going to say it like it is, decides when this guy's at work one day, I gotta use the restroom. I went back to his room. All you gotta do is jump the wall. Went back, searched his room, found his Percocet, took most of them, but didn't take all of them. Then I'm calling the wife. Now this is a real true story. I'm calling the wife. I'm telling the wife, hey, this first check I get, I need you to send me like 30 tins Percocets. And Kurt's on board, and I told her what to do. I was like, look, go to a vitamin shop, buy a bottle of vitamins, send me a care package. And in there, all you gotta do is take the little plastic seal off, fill it with Percocets instead of the vitamins, and then super glue the seal back and send me the bottle. I couldn't even wait that long. I was getting drunk almost every night because I was able to find alcohol because the packages, when they came over, a lot of wives were looking out for their husbands trying to get them alcohol. I mean, dude, there's nothing to do over there, except for this, go to the chow hall, come back to the room, shoot the crap with the guys, and if you're military, you're on missions or you're in a forward operating base down somewhere in the middle of nowhere in the desert. So I'm sure they want to be able to sip some alcohol, which is how my father was drinking Listerine instead of alcohol because that's what he was doing to get a buzz. You couldn't get alcohol down there. And then he still was drinking Listerine when he got home. It's because he was trying to hide it from my mom. But that being said, my wife never sent the bottle because I ended up using my check to come back to the States. I ended up using my check to pretty much fly back, which was like $1,600 plane ticket, $1,500, $1,600 plane ticket to fly back. I can't find alcohol when I ended up in Kuwait because I was flying back and I ended up in Kuwait. They didn't have alcohol that I could find. They didn't sell opioids, but they did have steroids. Well, this is where it gets funny. I'm in Kuwait. We've been staying in the tent for 2 days, losing our mind looking at the white wall. Me and Kurt want to see what off base is like. We're not active duty soldiers. We're civilian contractors, so we can go off base. Me and Kurt decide we're going to go out in the middle of Kuwait. White males from America, and in the middle of nowhere where it's a Muslim country. So thankfully Kuwait's pretty progressive compared to the other countries, but we had 2 translators we met on base that were really cool. They wanted to go off base too, and we got a hotel room. You can see a picture of me and Kurt together in a hotel room taking a picture. It was like 4 a.m. We heard this, the big loudspeaker covered the entire Kuwaiti city, and it was like a Muslim chant to Allah and this call to worship, and it was like scary, really. It was like, wow, this is real. Like, they're calling the whole city, everyone, to bow down and worship Allah, and they're calling upon their God and all. Intense stuff. Well, me and Kurt go to eat dinner with these guys, and I tell the guys I want something good. I don't know what to order, and I can't speak the language, and the people who own the restaurant speak Pashto, which these translators spoke. They were cool. These guys were really cool. We took a chance, though. We didn't know if they were trustworthy, but we did. Me and Kurt stuck together. We went off base. We decided we're going to go and explore, and while we ate, I said, let me get something good, and these guys ordered for me. Come to find out, after I ate, it was goat testicles. Like, I literally ate cooked goat balls. This is not a joke. I'm not making this up. The guys over there that are actual Kuwaiti citizens, they got a hookup for the Kuwaiti citizens. They make like $2,200 a month just to be a citizen of Kuwait. And for every child you have, you get the same. So you have 15 kids times $2,200 plus however many wives. You can have up to 4 wives in the Muslim religion. These guys are hooking it up, but you got to treat the wives equal. You got to get her a diamond ring and her a diamond ring and her. You got to get them all the same stuff. These guys are rich. The infrastructure for the Kuwaitis is really good. Rabbit trailed. So I eat goat testicles, and they were actually quite good. I had to admit they were very good. But I didn't know what they were. So they got me, and I saw this big Kuwaiti guy who's sitting there, and he's eating, and he's big. And I'm like, hey, ask that guy if he knows where to get any steroids, because I knew steroids were legal. And he's like, he turns around all looking hard, and we're looking back, not like, what's up? We're just trying to find out where the nearest place we can get this is at. He tells the translator, he goes, oh, you want steroids? It's right around the corner. I'm like, what? It's like that easy? So we walk around the corner to the gym. This guy who had like a bicep on his bicep, okay, like this dude was just peaked up. Hey, can you get testosterone? Yeah, I can. I said, really? What can you get? So he ended up going and getting decadurabolin, testosterone. And so I ended up getting 10 vials, 10 separate glass vials of Deca. And this is the night before I'm supposed to be heading back to the United States, because I'm on my way home. So what am I going to do with 10 vials? You're supposed to do maybe a vial every 3 or 4 days, maybe, at best, depending on what you're trying to do. Maybe one a week. What am I doing with 10? I got to leave tomorrow. How am I going to get home with 10 vials? I did not think. I went with the immediate, I just went and jumped on it. I mean, who's going to buy, 10 milliliters of Deca, for $50, $40 in Kuwait? I decide I'm going to go to the mall, buy some underwear, $17, like thong tight, crotch rocker underwear. And I wrapped up these vials and put them in underneath my balls to hide them. And I go to get on the plane from Kuwait. We get through security. Kurt is like, bro. Oh, I skipped something. Let's get to there in just a second, because this is important. I buy the decadurabolin. We start heading back, and I got to hit a pharmacy because I've got to be able to, I've got to be able to put this stuff in me, inject it. It's oil. So we go by the actual pharmacy, and there's this like guy behind, he's got a towel on his head, and he's looking, and we said, we need a syringe. Do you have a syringe? And I was telling him what size. And he's like, for what? We didn't think someone was going to ask for what. So I looked at the guy, and I had a swallowing moment, like, tell him my medicine. So this guy knew what I was using it for, and he was embarrassed, and he turns, he's like, medicine, in Pashto. And the guy's like, okay, yeah, finally gives me a syringe. And that night I was so scared that I wasn't going to be able to take the stuff. Instead of doing one shot, I just doubled up and did 2 at one time. Me and Kurt took that picture. We had to leave the next day. We go to the airport, and the first place you have to fly to is Germany from the Kuwait place to head back where we were heading. That was the flight itinerary. We get through the security, and Kurt is freaking out. Why do you have this on you? If you end up on Locked Up Abroad or some show and stuck for years in prison because you did something stupid, crossing, flying with stuff on you, you are insane. So I literally made it through. This is how crazy I was. I wanted the testosterone. Kurt tells me this BS lie. Bro, just throw the stuff away and, I'll buy you some when we get to the States. For some reason, my gut was telling me just believe him. Even though he's so full of crap, man, he never did. Which, whoop-de-doo. But it still made me mad later. I was like, dude, you said you were going to buy me something. I threw that away. Well, I get through the security and go to the bathroom, and I said, you know what, screw it. I guarantee you someone found those vials and was like, what the heck is this doing in the trash in the bathroom at an airport through security? So I flew, and I thought, as we go through every airport, all I could think about is, we didn't get cavity checked here. I could have kept it, right? That's how I kept thinking. But I'm glad and relieved that I didn't. Now, we're in the airplane. We're taking off. You can't drink because we're still in Kuwaiti territory. Once we hit like 30,000 feet altitude, we exited the Kuwaiti territory, and serving alcohol on these planes was legal. I got so trashed. I'll tell you what I did. I was sitting next to this very nice, pretty mother of a family, very pretty, and so I'm in great shape. I'm in actually the best shape I think I ever was in terms of like physique. And she's like, what do you do? And I was like, I door bang. I played this persona that I was like a door banger. A door banger is a badass soldier who's kicking in doors, going in combat and stuff like that. It's really what my dad is. So I just played it off like, I can't tell you what I really do in detail, but yeah. Let's just put it this way, I'm a good guy. I'm BSing, dude. We are such good BSers. And this lady's like impressed. Wow, she's really pretty, so I'm just being me. And I end up getting some drinks. I go back into the back of the plane after they gave me the little bit that they gave me, and I was like, can I get more? And they're like, you can go ahead. They're German, very nice ladies, and this guy, and you can go ahead. And it was a gay guy and two really pretty blonde-haired girls from Germany that were like, drink all you want. You can have the bottle. And I'm like, really? I guess they're not used to Americans like that. So me and Kurt in the back of an airplane at 35,000 feet, drinking, I remember it was Absolute vodka. I'm sitting here getting plastered. Didn't realize the altitude was going to cause me some problems when we landed, and I was hungover. The worst hangover. Oh my God, I almost missed our plane in Germany. We had to walk, once we got off the plane in Kuwait, all the way to the next plane to fly out of Germany. So we landed from Kuwait to Germany, walked through this giant mall airport in Germany. They had like expensive cars, and it was like a mall, and we ended up getting to our plane to fly back. And I remember the lady on the next flight offering me if I want some alcohol, and I was like, no. I mean, I was so dead, I cannot even describe it. I get off the plane to America, I see my wife. She had been stressing, she hadn't seen me in a while. She had the bottle of painkillers with her. And I was so relieved and amazed and happy that she had the medicine. I traveled across the world to go see my brother to help him, but at the same time, I was thinking about using. It didn't matter. It followed me the whole way. Now, I could go into more detail on these stories, but regardless, you guys get the gist. The insanity, man. I had all three of these substances affect me in Afghanistan, and it's been one of those things that just residually had occurred. I would say the least of them, my worries personally, was the testosterone, but I abused it because I didn't know what I was doing. It wasn't like I felt like I had to do more, because you don't get high from it like that. I didn't feel like I had to do more. I was trying to do more testosterone to try and get more effects, to feel bigger and stronger and to get bigger. But I didn't have to do that much amount. It wasn't like when you do opioids and you want to get a high and you do more or drink more alcohol to get more of a buzz. It wasn't like that. I didn't know what I was doing. I was abusing stuff and not really knowing my body and knowing what I was doing with this stuff. So there's your Afghanistan story in a more I say, a better perspective. Oh, and I did find Xanax while I was there. Snorted a few Xanaxes and drank one night and was blanking out, and that was the first time I recall experiencing where your memory, you literally start to forget things. It was a fun night, but you forget stuff. So yeah, Afghanistan for you, baby. But hey, if you're military, thank you for serving. Honor you guys and appreciate you guys who are watching this channel. Thanks a lot. Subscribe. Derek Lambert. Peace.